Fall DIYs, Dollar Tree, and they're not going to cost you a fortune. I'm Jamie, the crafty DIY guy. Welcome back to my channel. All right, everyone, and for DIY number one, we are going to take this oversized pumpkin cutout that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and we are going to paint it this great harvest orange color. Now, you can choose to paint your entire pumpkin if you want to, or in my case, I'm only going to do about 3/4 of it. My original intention was only to do about half of it, but as you saw, I had a lot of orange paint on there. I used a little bit too much, but that's okay. I just kind of kept painting until that paint was all gone. And you are literally just going to, I would recommend probably doing 2 coats, although because I had a really nice thick coat of orange paint here, I didn't have to do a second coat. Now, you are going to want to keep the stem portion plain because we are going to go back and do that. And then kind of once you've kind of figured out what your paint is going to look like, if you do need to go back over it and kind of touch anything up or, you know, smooth out some spaces, go ahead and do that. Now, for the top portion here, I am just taking some antique wax. I'm using some antique wax on a brush, and I am just going to be brushing it right into that stem, getting that nice and brown. And then I'm going to use that same brush, and we're going to kind of go around the kind of edges of the pumpkin, I guess, where the I don't know what those are called actually. You know, the grooves of the pumpkin. What are they called? I don't even know what they're called. But you want to give your pumpkin some definition. And I am just using the brush with the leftover antique wax on it. And as you can see, it's giving it a really nice highlight along those lines. And we're just creating some really cool dimension with our pumpkin. Now, if you are going into that blank space at the bottom there, don't even worry about it because you will see here shortly that we are going to be covering that up. Now, you can make your lines as dark as you want. I am kind of choosing to do a little bit of a dry brush and then kind of going over the edges. Now, I am going to take this buffalo check or this buffalo plaid vinyl that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and we are going to cover the remainder of our pumpkin here. Now, you can either choose to go halfway up, you could do just kind of at the bottom. I am just doing mine right along that edge where I did not paint. So once I've kind of figured out exactly where I want to go with this, go ahead and just peel away and then use any kind of roller, use some pressure, whichever one you want to do. It's totally fine and up to you. Now, I have this great floral pick, and I've had this in my stash for a little while. But what I really liked about it was it had some white in it, and it also had some great fall colors in it. And I literally just kind of took it apart. I used my lineman pliers that are there to the right and just kind of hacked through those wires to kind of pull out these pieces. And the idea here is I'm just going to kind of play around with where I think I like the placement. And then we are going to go ahead and put our leaves on. Now, I've got a leaf here that has a leaf that is bent. And this is a tip for you. If you have some florals like that and you want to kind of straighten them out, just take your heat gun to it. Taking your heat gun to it will kind of get that wrinkle out. It's kind of like ironing it, but you're using your heat gun for it. So that is a really cool trick that I just kind of tried one time, and it actually worked. So I wanted to share it with all of you guys. Now, for my leaves and different pieces, I am just going to start adding, and there is no rhyme or reason to this. You are literally just going to start adding in what you think is beautiful and what you feel is a great topper. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I added some leaves, I added some berries, I added some florals, and you've got a really cute topper for your sign. But we are not quite done yet. Now, the other thing that I did want to add to mine was this wood hello words. And I thought it would be really fun to kind of give it a faux kind of wood painting. So I'm actually taking a brown just an acrylic paint right now, and I am going to be going over the top of it, and I'm kind of going a little bit heavy with it, and I'm kind of doing that on purpose because what I want to do after I've kind of painted everything brown is I'm going to take my heat gun, we're going to speed up the drying process on this just a little bit, and then I'm going to wipe it off because it's going to give it kind of that stained look. And then I'm going to repeat the process with the black acrylic chalk or the black chalk paint from Waverly, the one in ink. And when you're kind of doing this, you're blotting, you're kind of taking things paint off, you're removing it, you're kind of going back and forth until you've almost got this kind of knotty wood kind of look. And I really, really liked the way that this one turned out. Now, this next part is obviously pretty easy. You're going to add some hot glue to the back of it, and boom, you've got a very cute, very, very adorable fall sign that you can proudly say you made yourself. Now, this next DIY is super, super easy and so much fun. You're going to take a 7x7 frame at Dollar Tree. You're going to find some fall fabric remnants. I loved this particular one. It kind of reminded me of like a flannel t-shirt. And then I have those burlap leaves that I just covered up with that fabric. So there's the leaves, there's the frame. Now, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to iron this fabric. Now, you can do it with a regular iron, or if you have a Cricut Easy Press like I do, you could certainly use that. Any kind of iron would work. Knowing this fabric, you could probably even throw it in the dryer or just let it steam and it would probably be fine. But go ahead and just kind of iron out your fabric. Go ahead and iron out the full thing, getting all the corners and everything. Then you're going to take your fabric and you're just going to fold it in half. The reason why I folded mine in half is because the fabric tends to be a little thin, and I really wanted this to just be nice and thick, and it just kind of reminded me again of like a really warm flannel shirt. Now, I'm going to take my frame apart. We're going to take the backing of that frame, and we are going to use that as our guide. We're going to move it over here to the one side so we don't waste a whole bunch of this great fabric. And I'm going to take a green Sharpie because a Sharpie is great to work with this, especially a green one or one that's got some color in it, because you know you're going to have to go back and cut those lines. And there's nothing worse than tracing around something and then not being able to see the line and having to go back in and do that. So that's why I grabbed my green Sharpie. I keep all kinds of Sharpies on hand. You guys know I love working with my Sharpies. Now, go ahead and just cut your fabric out. And because we did fold this in half, you are just going to be cutting the both pieces at the same time. And by the way, have you noticed how good those scissors are? I finally got some new scissors. I bought a 3-pack. Y'all better watch out. I'm going to be cutting all kinds of stuff really, really easily now. And I'm super excited about that. I need to probably get like a scissor sharpener or something like that, because I tend to dull out my scissors really, really easily. Now, go ahead and take my other favorite thing, which is a glue stick, and you're just going to apply it to the back of the cardboard. Now, this is the cardboard piece that is included in your frame, and this is where your fabric is going to go as well. So go ahead and put a decent amount of hot glue or glue on there, whichever kind of glue you're going to use. And make sure that you've got some good adhesive there, some good stickum, as I've been calling it. And because you want it to kind of work its way through kind of both of those kind of layers of fabric. Because remember, this is doubled over. If you only needed one, you could totally do that as well. Go ahead and take your burlap leaves. You're going to also use your glue stick on that. You're going to frame this up. How cute is this? However, I feel like the white is a little bright. So I'm just going to kind of age mine up. I'm using that same paintbrush that I used before, that I used for my brown paints and for my black paints. And we are just going to kind of age up that frame a little bit. And when you're done, you've got the cutest framed fall decor. Can you imagine doing like 8 or 10 of these on a wall? Could be very, very cool. I love this so much. Now, this next DIY is going to incorporate some fun scrapbook paper that I have had for quite a while. We're also going to use some wood rounds, and I grabbed some ribbon, but I actually ended up not using that ribbon. You are going to go ahead and just pick out some of your favorite scrapbook paper. I love these fall colors. I love just all the different patterns and such. And I want to do something that is going to really just kind of be quintessential fall here. Take out my favorite new tool, a glue stick, and you're going to add a generous amount of glue to your wood round because we are going to be adding our scrapbook paper right on top of that because we are going to create something that kind of has a pattern to it using that scrapbook paper. Now, my scrapbook paper came from Michael's. I did buy this last year, so it's been a little while. I'm sure they have something out there very, very similar. And I can tell you, I've got a lot of use of it. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know because you've seen me use this scrapbook paper technique before. Now, go ahead and use your heat gun, kind of speed up the gluing process. Although I don't recommend stacking your wood pieces like I did there because that could have been very, very bad. I didn't do it all the way to where it would dry all the way. So just keep that in mind. I did want to kind of finish off the backs of my wood rounds. I didn't intend to cover them with any scrapbook paper, but I did want to kind of give this a little bit more of a finished look. So I did put some antiquing wax on a paper towel and just kind of covered both of those rounds that way. Now go ahead after your glue has dried and go ahead and just trim right around this. It's always great when you're working with something like this with wood because it is pretty easy to cut right around because the wood round kind of acts as your guide, which is really, really great. So after you've got that kind of all trimmed away and you are happy with that, go ahead and set those aside because we need to color in our words here. Now, these are laser cut words. These did come from Dollar Tree. I think there were 4 that were in the package, and I am choosing to use the word grateful. And I'm going to do that in orange because this is a contrasting color that's going to go really, really well with one of my scrapbook pieces or one of my scrapbook paper pieces. I am speeding this footage, by the way, so don't think I'm like Superman here with the acrylic pen marker that I've got here. By the way, these are from Arteza, and I love them. I use them a lot in a lot of my different projects, especially with these laser cutouts. And then for the word gather, or the word thankful, I'm sorry, for the word thankful, we are going to use my favorite color, blue, because again, this is going to pop against that scrapbook paper that I'm using. And you just have to worry about the one side. Not a big deal to do it on both of these because they're going to be glued to those rounds that we're doing. So as you are kind of letting the paint dry with your heat gun, if you need to go through and kind of touch anything up, you can do that. And then just take your heat gun and just apply some heat to those and it will work. I love working with my heat gun. I have a heat gun linked below in my Amazon store. I also have a Walmart creator storefront now, and there is a DIY and craft section in there where you can get some of my favorite things like my Waverly chalk paints and just different crafting materials and floral materials and all kinds of things. So definitely check that out if you are interested in learning more about some of these items or just wanting to get some of these items for yourself. So now that we've got everything glued and ready to go, or everything that we've got now is dry, we are now going to glue these to our rounds. Pretty simple. Just add some hot glue on the back, and we are going to center these, and then we're going to move on to the beaded accessories. Now, for the beaded portion of this, I am going to take some garland that I already had. It was beaded garland. I picked this up on Temu. I think it was like $3 or $4. And I'm going to hack them up. I'm going to use them up. And I went ahead and cut each end of it where the tassel part of it is, so I can use the beads and the tassels on my sign. So go ahead and kind of center where you're going to put your beads, because the idea is that the beads and the tassels are going to hang down at the bottom. And you're going to repeat this for both of your signs. And then if you want, you can add a piece of like scrap ribbon like I do, just to kind of help hold this together. This is what they look like when they're done. We are going to just add a very simple hanger, a piece of twine tied in a knot, some glue, and you've got some very, very cute thankful signs. Now, if you've been doing any shopping out in the retail world, you have seen brass candlesticks are all the rage. I took these Dollar Tree candlesticks, I spray painted them antique brass. Look how beautiful they are. Absolutely versatile. I can use these for Christmas. I can use these for fall. I can use these for every day. I love the way that this turned out. Such an easy DIY. Now I have this wood Hello Fall sign. I did pick this up at Hobby Lobby and I painted it orange because I have a wreath that I did last year. It is my favorite wreath. I kept it on purpose because I want to use it again and again each year, but I wanted to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. So I'm going to take this Hello Fall sign that I spray painted orange and we're just going to kind of integrate it into my favorite wreath. Now, you could certainly strap this down or tie this down or glue this down. I don't know why I said strap this down, but the great thing about a wreath like this one in particular is that there's a lot of wire like pine cones and vines. There's garland involved. And then I went ahead and just added or just kind of readjusted the pumpkins that I already had. You've got an updated wreath that is so gorgeous. I absolutely love this, and it was such an easy DIY. All right, you guys, let me know in the comments below which ones were your favorite. Obviously, that wreath, I think, is probably my ultimate favorite. I took that wreath last year, and I took a $3 garland from the Dollar Tree Plus section. I took a bunch of Dollar Tree florals and those Dollar Tree pumpkins and just combined it with that other sign, and it created a whole new wreath for me that's actually still hanging on the front door, and I'm sure neighbors have thought that I have absolutely lost my mind, but that's okay because I think it's pretty and it makes me happy. So let me know in the comments below which projects were your favorite. Also, if you are one of my long-term subscribers here, thank you so much for being here. If you're a short-term subscriber as well, thank you for being here too. The long-termers, I call you guys my OGs. You're part of the original gang when I started the channel. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And by the way, if you're liking the shirt that I'm wearing, it is a short sleeve shirt. It is in my Walmart creator store. You can find the link in the description box below. Just copy and paste it, put it in your browser, and you will find I have shops for men's and ladies and Halloween and DIYs and tools and crafts and everything. But this shirt is definitely in there. I do have a men's clothing haul coming up very soon that is all going to be from Walmart. So definitely keep an eye out for that, especially if you have those guys in your life that, you know, you want to give them a little zhuzh, a little, you know, finessing. That video will be perfect for you. Until then, take care, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye-bye.